Welcome to Coffee Stories in Bruges. First stop, the beginning. What is it all about? Coffee Stories in Bruges? I thought they only sold chocolates. Beer and chocolates. Beer, chocolates, and lace. It's difficult to know when coffee was first used as a drink, but thanks to the Muslim researchers, we know about it since around the year 1000. So there's Razi, there's Avicenna already advertising it as a health drink, rightfully so. And I'm a huge fan of Avicenna, so it really pleases me to be able to share that part of history. Of course, the origin of the coffee plant is in Ethiopia, and so the first use of it probably too, though we do speak about kawe that was used in the Arabic world to describe the beverage, and the Ethiopians called it more like pun or something like that. So in the earlier text, you can still also find this other mention that's now kind of lost. It took quite a while for it to conquer the whole world. So if you realize it's already more than 1,000 years in the Islamic world, but in the Western world, our world, well, my world, it's only a good 300 years. There's quite a bit of ugly sides to the history, how it got everywhere to scale up that production. Here in this exhibition, they had this nice fake plant. It's difficult to have a long-term exhibition like this with a real plant, I imagine. I was kind of hoping it was, because I've up to this point have never seen a real big plant. So they kind of describe here um, different aspects of the origin of coffee, culturally and the natural history, but with a big focus on the future and getting it to be more fair. Also in the written history, there's this important text from Max Havelaar to write about all the issues around the production of coffee. Now for the classification, we have that to thank to Linnaeus and his approach to that. Now he mistakenly called it Coffea Arabica, thinking the origin lies on the Arabic peninsula. Now that would have been an easy mistake if you consider those the sources he worked with. Now, a big difference, of course, we have two species, the Arabica and the Robusta. They have quite, well, different characteristics. Higher altitude for Arabica, lower temperature. Arabica, of course, being the more popular one of the two, having more enjoyable characteristics for the drink. Now the full classification, of course, starts with the rain, plantae, of course, dealing with plants. Then we go to the class, the order, and all the way down, under the actual species Arabica would have the variants Typica, for example. So what we then still have here is a focus on how it's being further processed from where it is grown to the bar or the shop where you actually buy it. But there should also be a focus on circular economy. At different phases there's a lot of potential waste products and what are possible solutions for that. Here it kind of ends with the belt of where we can grow coffee around the Equatorian, and the people that are doing most work for it but probably not getting their fair share of the profits. But at least I did a small gesture. I bought the Ethiopia beans from Oxfam fair trade. They advertise it as soft and floral. Get coffee from Ethiopia, the cradle of coffee. And now it has a best use before actually quite soon, 14th of April 23. So if that's actually close to the roast date, that would be good. It's a pity they don't show the roast date. If it's the regular 2 years after roasting it, oh man, that's not fair for the consumer in this case. But I mean, the intentions are of course very honorable. I talked to some of the people at Oxfam and I asked, why don't you sell green beans? That might be another small thing to get the distance between the producer actually on the lands and doing most of the work and the end consumer. To get that distance closer might also help in getting more fair prices for everyone. We don't want to eliminate the middleman completely, but the middleman should get his fair share, just a small one. A lot of things to consider, of course, in the coffee world. Enjoy your coffees, try to get them as fair as possible. And see you in the next episodes of Coffee Stories in Bruges.